Hi, you've reached the High Fashion Hotline.
Hi, Labor Day's the end of summer, but I'm not ready for my summer style to end.
It doesn't have to. At Old Navy, you can still get amazing dresses and tees.
Old Navy?
Yep, summer's ending, but saving on Old Navy style is just beginning at our pre-Labor Day sale. Right now, get 30% off all jeans, 40% off all dresses, and 50% off all tees for the whole family.
All jeans, dresses, and tees on sale?
Yep, at 30, 40, or 50% off at Old Navy.
I'm ready for that.
High Fashion, Old Navy. Valid 8/24/8/30 in stores only. Excludes active licensed men's package and clearance.
Blog Talk Radio.
Tonight on the Metal Hammer of Doom, your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Rattle, is going to bring to you German heavy metal band Accept and their 15th, count them, 15, ladies and gentlemen, 15th studio album, The Rise of Chaos. Another band reacting seemingly to what they perceive to be happening in the United States and around the world. From here on out, I mandate that everybody should just name their album Fuck Trump. I don't particularly feel that way. I don't care enough. But if everyone's just going to continue to react to his presidency in this negative fashion, then I declare everyone should just name their album Fuck Trump Volume, whatever the hell the album we're up to at that point is, and just go on from there. What do you think about that, Jesse Starcher?
Well, clearly, if you do that and then you have bands that go outside of that directive, then we know which bands to hate. Isn't that right? I mean, if somebody else has a different opinion, clearly they're wrong and we hate them. There
you go. That's how this shit works. No lives matter, Jesse Starcher. That's what I say. No lives matter. We are here to drink your beer and to talk about Accept, the Rise of Chaos.
We're here to drink some Kool-Aid, my friend.
That's true. We are here to drink your Kool-Aid and be the Analog Man. That song, Analog Man, should have been renamed Old Man Yells at Cloud. That's a great. That's a great song. That's a great song. How you doing tonight?
Oh, damn, man. I'm ready to talk about a band that's been around for longer than I've been alive, and I've only heard one song from them. So I cannot wait to discuss this album. This is the first ever album I've ever listened to fully from these guys.
Yeah, me too. This wasn't one that I saw that they were putting out a new album. I thought about should we cover it? Shouldn't we cover it? There's nothing really else on the calendar that's really worth talking about. I asked Robert Cooper what his opinion was. He was like, yeah, definitely we should talk about it. And then he decided that he had to work. God damn it.
Damn it.
God damn it. So, there you have it, folks. That's how we got to where we are today in this world. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start playing some tracks and listening to music. We're going to talk about these tracks and tell you what we think. And Robert Cooper, he'll probably join us in about an hour or so. I think that's the game plan. So, Jesse Starcher, if you please, you got any burning desires before we get into this tonight?
No, I'm glad we had, I'm glad we're doing this because I've heard a lot about Accept before. I just never gave him a chance. So it's awesome to have the opportunity to do so on the Metal Hammer of Doom, and I'm ready to get to it.
All right, before I fall asleep, let's go. Track number 1, Die by the Sword. Die by the Sword. Have ever been spoken. If you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Isn't that true, Jesse Starcher?
Absolutely right. Let me tell you, I thought when we first plugged this in, hooked it up, and listened to it through the old Spotify, I was like, holy shit, this first song kicks some ass. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely a good way to kick off the album.
And now, one of the things that I remember saying online was that the first time I ever heard of Accept and was clearly their mega hit, Balls to the Wall. And I always had that misconception that was a song done by AC/DC. And a few years back, I learned my lesson. But can you tell the similarity between him and the lead singer of AC/DC here?
Tonally, I think the vocals are extremely similar to where if they both sang like Back in Black, or For Those About to Rock, it would be very difficult to tell them apart.
Okay.
What sets them apart, obviously, is that AC/DC isn't playing music like this.
That's right. I agree.
Just as an aside, I was watching Family Guy recently.
Surprise!
And the one guy in AC/DC who's dressed up like the schoolboy.
Angus, I think.
Yeah, Angus Young. He's kicking across the stage. And
Uh-oh.
He has this look on his face. He's just absolutely mortified. And as he's kicking across the stage, he's like, "What I picked this?"
Come on, man. You gotta make it through.
I'm trying. When I picked this outfit, I didn't think I'd have to wear it when I was 60.
Yeah, that's a gimmick that's been around forever. My gosh.
That has been around. But it tell you, man, it does belie a universal truth that you pick your gimmicks carefully because you may be around. You may be an old man and still be expected to wear schoolboy shorts and a tie.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, you know what's strange is that, these guys have been around for quite a while, but the lead singer changed in 2009, according to the Wikipedia. So our lead vocalist, it's like Accept looked for a vocalist that sounds the same to whoever was doing Balls to the Wall. Like, most vocalists will come in and they kind of put their own flair on things. It seems like to me, Accept goes, okay, well, you got to sound like so-and-so. AC/DC did the same thing when they had to replace, who was the original singer? I can't remember the original singer. I know the singer right now is Brian Johnson, right?
Right.
I think. Okay. So they picked someone that sounded similar to the same vocalist, but usually you don't see that. And it's just strange how both those bands, Accept and AC/DC, to me, sound very similar when it comes to vocals at least. And then they've changed singers over time, but kept the same fucking singer's tone. It sounds almost the same. But now, again, this is album 15, though. Go ahead.
I wouldn't necessarily say that's always the same. There are plenty of instances where, and I think the most famously, to my mind, Anthrax changed from Whoosy Wutsy to John Bush, and it completely changed the sound of not just the singing style, but it changed the style of the band as well.
Yes, yeah. And yeah, there's absolutely, examples of that out there in music. But again, I'm saying, like, with these two bands, AC/DC and Accept, who sound similar to each other, also have changed singers and kept the same vocals, kept the same vocal style. So, but yeah, it's just something I wanted to point out there before I forget about it.
Okay, let's move on to Hole in the Head, track 2. That is a beer-drinking, hair-swinging song right there.
Yeah, you could feel the hard rock metal vibe coming out of that. That's some good stuff. It's whoever he's singing about. If he's singing about a person, he might actually be singing about something else. But whatever it is, he just can't quit.
He's probably singing about some broad. I mean, isn't that what, like, 90% of rock music and heavy metal is about? Some dame, some chick.
Well, here's the thing.
Right, Melissa? Right, Melissa?
Yeah, it's about some chick.
It's always about some broad, right?
Yeah.
We just can't quit our broads.
Apparently not. Well, get this. I mean, listen, Balls to the Wall. Okay, that song, according to the Wikipedia, was about slavery, I believe. Hold on, let me tell you, because I had it right here. Give me just a second.
Are they just singing about how they just can't quit slavery? because I need to call my father if that's the case. Hey, Dad. Remember that argument we had last night about how the Civil War was or was not just solely about slavery? Well, get this.
Oh, no. No. It says balls to the wall refers to slaves revolting against oppressing masters. Now,
okay.
that's Balls to the Wall, the most famous song ever, which I never sat down and listened to every lyric out of that song. So, these guys are deep. They can write a song that may not just be about broads, but regardless, whatever it is.
Is that the first time you've ever used the word broads like that in a sentence? Because I feel like
so.
you were very uncomfortable with it.
It is a term that I don't use often.
I feel like I'm having a nefarious influence on you, Jesse Starcher.
Oh, that's,
like one day you're gonna
that's absolutely clear.
You're going to be walking through the house one day and be like, hey, Mindy, I was talking to this broad at work,
Broad?
right? She's going to be like, who? Yeah. She's going to look at you like, what? Yeah, this broad, this chick, some dame.
Ah, yes.
Who the hell are you been hanging out with?
Talk to Mark.
Patriarch.
The patriarch, Mark Radulich. Ever the bad influence.
She's going to say, how does his wife let him get away with that? And you kidding? She joins in.
I've heard it happen. It's happened. But yes. This one was pretty good. I mean, it was decent. We kept up the heaviness, and but yeah, whatever it is, he compares this thing that he needs, like a hole in the head, and then a couple more cliche things throughout the whole song.
If that's not about some chick, some twat, I don't know what is.
All right.
I don't know how, and statistically we have such a wide female audience. I don't know if they're listening to the show or not.
Now all of a sudden, based off 48% sample of our listening audience, we've got a huge female listenership. Unbelievable.
I don't know how.
There's no way.
Don't know. Yeah, that's all female robots. All right. If you're a girl and you're listening to the show and you can tolerate me, jokingly using terminology like that, God bless you. You
Amen.
We appreciate you. All right. This is track 3. This is The Rise of Chaos. That's our title track. It's pretty heavy. It's good stuff.
Yeah, again, it keeps up the pace. It's close, if not my favorite track off the album. It's a good one. And
no, the next one's your favorite song.
I might sing the next one quite a bit, but yeah, that one's good. It's heavy, man. It's good old old heavy. It's not old heavy metal, but damn, you could feel it. It's got some kind of a heavy metal, genesis in it or something that just feels comfortable and it's been there for a while.
It's traditional balls to the. It's traditional balls to the walls heavy metal.
I like it.
It is it's exactly what you're looking for. When you say, I want to listen to traditional heavy metal, The Rise of Chaos is a great little ditty. Get you where you need to go.
Agreed.
All right. Let's listen to Jesse Starks' favorite song. This is all about that sugary drink for your children to enjoy. This is Kool-Aid. I gotta look it up. Who makes Kool-Aid? But I have to imagine the parent company, if they find out about this, is not going to be happy.
Dude, I was so going there. Kool-Aid. I was so going there.
Hey. Kraft. God, don't fuck with those people. They
well, they own like half the earth or something.
Let's see. Kraft owns. Let's see here. Kool-Aid.
Well, macaroni and cheese.
Hang on. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Kraft Foods. There we go. Brand. Vegemite.
Yeah.
A1, Grey Poupon, Gevalia, Planters, Capri Sun, Jello, Jello.
That's right.
Maxwell House, Oscar Mayer, Polio, Velveeta, Bullseye Barbecue Sauce, Kool-Aid, Boca Burger, Philadelphia Cream Cheese, Clausen's Pickles, and Cracker Barrel Cheese. Cracker Barrel.
Does it say, can you click on like Kool-Aid and get a history of Kool-Aid real quick? Just by chance. Will that take you to a wiki? I'm curious as to when Kool-Aid actually became a brand.
Kool-Aid was invented by Edwin Perkins in Hastings, Nebraska. All of his experiments took place in his mother's kitchen, like you do. Its predecessor was a liquid concentrate called Fruit Smack. Yeah, it'll make you smack your own mama.
Get you some Fruit Smack.
Come here, let me give you some Fruit Smack. Ow! You hit me with a banana.
Predecessor to Fruit Ninja.
Yeah. To reduce shipping costs, in 1927, Poikins discovered a way to remove the liquid from Fruit Smack, leaving only a powder. This powder was named crack. No, this powder was named Kool-Aid. Perkins moved his production to Chicago in 1931, and Kool-Aid was sold to General Foods in 1953. Hastings still celebrates a yearly summer festival called Kool-Aid Days. Oh, shit. On the second weekend in August. Yeah, buddy.
Hey, that just passed.
This is timely. This is some timely shit right here. In honor of the city's claim to fame, Kool-Aid is known as Nebraska's official soft drink. Oh, well, that explains a lot.
Oh man. I'm curious as to whether. Oh, go ahead.
Hang on. An agreement between Kraft Foods and SodaStream in 2012 made Kool-Aid's various flavors available for consumer purchases with the use of the SodaStream home soda maker machine.
Ah, interesting. I was curious as to whether they had to do like some serious brand P&R, or what do they call that when you gotta rush in and you gotta take care of some business because things aren't looking so good after the Jonestown suicides happened and in 1978, and everybody is talking about Kool-Aid, but it's not the way you really want your brand to be talked about. Let's go just real quick, because I'm on the Wikipedia for Jonestown. I don't know much about it, but I knew enough just in, either from history class or from people discussing it, that as soon as this song hit, I shared it with you guys immediately after I've heard it first. Then I was like, is this about the Jonestown Massacre? And sure enough, it is. It is about that song, or about that event. So here you go. On November 18th, 1978, a total of 918 people died in the People's Temple Agricultural Project settlement. Its informal name was Jonestown. And, dude, it says a total of 909 individuals died in Jonestown, all but 2 apparent from cyanide poisoning. Wow. I mean, and they said a third of them, 304 of the victims were minors. Most of the survivors considered actually mass murder because a bunch of the people did not take it willingly. They were actually forced to take it. Some of them were forced to take it. So, and then I have my 3-year-old son singing "Don't Drink the Kool-Aid."
Nice. Well done.
He's a big Kool-Aid fan, though.
Our next song is called "No Regrets," and I'd like to talk to you about a man who's probably got no regrets. Or maybe he's got a ton of regrets. We'll see after I read you the story. I found this out today. It was actually published August 15th. Male stripper from Tampa stabs partner in eyes in Key West. Thought he was a cannibal.
All right, there's got to be a song about that guy. I mean, if we're
let's read on here and find out what the details of this
yeah,
tale.
I'm just going to say drugs may be involved, but let's find out.
Key West, Florida, a stripper from Tampa who believed his partner, his loving partner, was a cannibal, stabbed him in the eyes with a pen and shoved a piece of wood down his throat. WTVJ reports. Justin Calhoun, 24, was arrested Monday for attacking Mark Brand, 67. It was a May-December relationship.
67 years old? All right.
24-year-old attacked a 67-year-old, according to a Key West police report. According to WTVJ, the report states that Calhoun told police he and Brand had been in a sexual relationship, and he often stayed with Brand. Calhoun stated the couple got into an argument because Calhoun, who is the 67-year-old, who is the 24-year-old, believed Brand was a cannibal. According to the report, the two got into an argument and Brand picked up a gun. Calhoun said he was able to wrestle the gun away from Brand because, 24-year-old and 67-year-old, but the gun jammed. At that point, the report states Calhoun stabbed Brand in both eyes with a pen and stuffed a piece of wood broken off from the dresser into his mouth. Yeah, he fucked this guy up good.
Dude, I mean, after one pin to the eye, I'm down. I don't think 2 is necessary.
Well, he may have been down, but, it doesn't stop the other guy from continuing to do damage. The report also states that Calhoun stomped the wood further into Brand's mouth and hit him in the head and throat with the dresser drawer. So he went all ECW on this guy. What? Calhoun told officers he jumped out of the bedroom window while naked as Brand's roommate tried to enter the room.
Wait a second. Don't we have a soundbite for that?
We might, Rabbit. We might. Hang on. Yeah, we have sound of the male stripper jumping out the window after he done blinded a guy.
He's naked. His junk's flying in the wind. Oh my God.
Oh, he's a flapping in the breeze, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
God.
You don't think you incapacitated this guy enough that you couldn't put clothes on before you got the hell out of there? Dude's got pins in his eyes, a dresser in his mouth, and wood down his throat, and you can't put clothes on before you go outside. Where are the drugs at again?
Somebody was walking into the room. See, he was trying to make a fast getaway.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Do you think he has no regret? I feel like the 67-year-old guy would disagree that sometimes the pain very much does not equal the pleasure.
Oh, no, sir. My goodness. I've made mistakes, but I've never been wrong. Cannibalism. Hey, here's the thing. I want to see evidence if this guy truly was a cannibal. I want to know. Because
I think young Calhoun's judgment may have been impaired.
Yeah, I'm going to have to probably side with you on that analysis, sir. I agree.
Okay. This next one's my favorite song on this album, just because it's so Old Man Yells at Clouds.
Now, before you play it, okay, we're going to play a little game real quick, as long as you haven't cheated already. All right? Guess the age of our singer. What is his name? Mark Tornillo or Mark Tornillo. Guess his age. I'll give you a ding 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 if you get within 3.
55.
Negative, sir. You have lost. Born.
Oh.
He was born June 8th, 1954. He is currently 63 years old.
That was close.
Sure.
Only off by 8 years.
But not enough, sir.
Not enough. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. All right, folks. This is my favorite song off this album. I don't know if it's the best song, but it's my favorite just because of how silly it is. This is Analog Man.
I was born in a cave when stereo was all the rage. Gatefold vinyl and 8 tracks ruled the world. Never slept screens in 3D, but still felt smarter than me. with the crowd. My information's on the cloud. My profile gets hacked most every day. Update and download. Still winning, just insanity. Update and download. The wheel's still spinning, just let me be. I'm an analog man. Analog man. Analog man. Analog man. I'm an analog man, trapped in a digital world. Analog man. Analog man.
These are the greatest lyrics I've ever heard. Let's go through them one by one.
Oh, please.
I was born in a cave when stereo was all the rage. This man has my heart. Gatefold vinyl and 8 tracks ruled the world. Yes! Now there's flat screens in 3D. My cell phone's smarter than me. You poor man. I can't keep up. My brains are beginning to burn. I am this man. This is happening. I know what this is like. See, my wife will be in bed next to me, and I'll be like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm looking at Snapchat." I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't understand. I had to explain podcasting to my cousin yesterday, and it was like teaching a monkey how to change a tire. I was like, how the fuck do you not know what this is? You know, you're the same age as me, but she, you know, as much as we are engulfed in the whole podcasting thing, there are people who have no clue. Like they don't,
hear you.
Like to this day, there are some people I tell them I have a podcast, they think I own a radio station.
Yeah.
Update and download. There's no winning, just insanity. Update and download. The wheels keep spinning. Just set me free. Oh, I hear you, analog man. I'm an analog man trapped in a digital world. I hear this man's pain, Jesse, and I sympathize. Never mind Black Lives Matter. Never mind all these groups out there with their different perspectives and what they feel they need and how they feel they've been wronged. This man's been wronged. Technology has run past him. Yes. I keep surfing with the crowd. My information's on the cloud. My profile gets hacked almost every day. This happened to my dad. Okay.
Is that a lyric? Does that say that? My profile gets
no,
hacked
but I know.
every day. Oh, I was gonna say.
No. My profile gets hacked almost every day is the line. This happened to my dad is me just ad-libbing.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Oh gosh. Don't need no Wi-Fi, just want my hi-fi. I hear you. I understand. Don't need no data plan. Computer's crashing. I want to smash them. Oh, boy, have I been there. I just don't understand. Analog man. Analog man. I'm an analog man. In a digital world, I'm an analog man. And I'm dying, Jesse Starcher, in a digital world. No truer song has ever been written. This is pain. This is truth. This is right up there with Silent All These Years by Tori Amos in the most truthful song ever written. The most painful song. Do you hear what I'm trying to tell you?
I hear you, sir. I am, unfortunately, going to have to give him negative marks for shoving just about every technological trope and saying into a song. And here's the thing. The other two bands that clearly jump right out off of my memory that we've given shit about doing almost the same thing was Nickelback. That's right, Nickelback. With
hang on.
Yes.
Did you say Nickelback?
Nickelback!
Nickelback with Feed the Machine. I believe they just blathered and blathered a bunch of technological techno-babble on that one. And then in this moment, also hit us with Ritual. And then they had a song on there which I believe was, oh man, I know there was a song on there that it was just rife with all sorts of technological things that we were just like, come on, why do you got to shove this in there? But listen, here's the thing. What this man is going through is real. I understand how you can identify what this guy is doing, okay? The other two bands, you know, it was just a gimmick. Chad Kroeger ain't having no problem getting on the Wi-Fi. He ain't worried about no 8 tracks, all right? But this man definitely, I could see it. He's 60-some years old. He's just about as old as my dad is, which he's up there. And, yeah, my dad could identify with this song guaranteed easily if I played it for him.
Exactly. Every time I come home, my parents babysit my kids. The closed caption is on the Apple TV every time. Every time.
Now wait a second.
I can't tell.
Who was watching the TV? You or did you say your parents?
My parents when they babysit my kids.
Okay. All right. So they accidentally turn it on, or do they turn it on purpose?
They do it on purpose. My dad's not quite the Luddite that, you know, my mom is. My mom can't operate a fucking, you know, my mom can barely operate the TV remote. But my dad's just deaf. So I know that they've been fucking with the TV whenever I put on the Apple TV and the closed captions come on.
Well, here's the thing. How loud are the kids? Because Mark Radlich...
No, this is after they've gone to bed.
Okay, all right. Well, then I guess there's no there's no excuse, because usually in my house, if I've got 2 kids in the same room while I'm trying to watch a television show, one of 2 things is going to happen. I'm going to turn it off in utter frustration because I can't fucking hear the thing, or I'm going to turn the closed captioning on and do my best to make it through, and that drives my wife nuts. But the thing is, you can't hear the damn thing because the kids are doing flip-flops and wrestling matches in the middle between you and the TV. So it's something I can see, but so they don't turn it off and they leave it for you to take care of.
So yesterday, Ronnie Adams' new favorite group, King Diamond, I kept doing that grandma bit. We got into an argument at the table where, you know, basically my dad was like, the only thing the Civil War was about slavery, and my wife was like, that's not all it was about, and this somehow revolved around the whole statue controversy.
Oh, geez.
And I didn't give a shit about any of it, to be honest with you. And I did give a shit that my wife was really starting to lose her temper, and my dad screaming, give me my iPad so I can prove to you that the Confederate Constitution, and I was like, oh,
is he going to go to the internet to find that information out? Please do.
Now we're gonna reference dead documents. Okay, terrific. And so I had said earlier in the evening that one of the things that we do on this show is I tend to beat a dead horse, and to the point where we had to upload a sound of a horse dying because I kept doing it so much. And so finally I said, look, all y'all need to shut the fuck up at this table. I'm going to have the last word. And someone was like, what was the last word going to be on the subject matter? And I said, the last word's going to be Grandma! So at which point I then turned to my aunt Pat, who is my great aunt Pat to my children, and I said, come here, horsey.
Oh, no. Oh, goodness.
And my cousin Jessica didn't get it. But anyway, what's done is done.
You wanted it so bad.
the theme of the National Police Force. What's done is done. The bullets have left the gun.
Oh, boo.
Boo, Rattledge, boo.
Oh, man. Let me tell you.
Oh, God. Let me tell you something. My one criticism of this album is probably this song right here. My harshest criticism, I would say. And it's the fact that it seems like the older bands get, the more crankier they get.
The crankier they get, and the more it may seem like they're just going to phone in a song. And I swear this is one that's phoned in. I mean, doesn't it make you miss Steel Panther? And and they've wasted too much time fucking you. Doesn't it make you miss that? Yeah, something, something to jostle it up every once in a while. Roll the bean, do whatever, get it going. But then we have, by the way, that's stuck with me ever since we've discussed that. I'll never forget that. So
well done.
Use that every once in a while. But listen,
the sexual education of Jesse Starcher on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
I learn something new every day. Here we go. So what's done is done. Now, how many times can you sit there and say a song's title in a different way? This song right here is a perfect example of doing that, where they just phone it in by saying the song's title and then kind of saying the song's title but using a different cliche phrase, such as the bullets left the gun, you can't unring the bell, you've hammered out the nail. Well, okay, but it just felt repetitive to me. How's that? That's still it's not a horrible tune. It's just lyrically, it's like, okay, you just write about the same thing over and over and over and over. Give me an idea of what the hell the background is on that song.
I still can't help but make myself giggle at the thought of like the spokesperson for a police department, and it's just like, all right, you need to address the press. You've shot yet another black person in the street. Like, well, what's done is done. The bullets left the gun, and like a Family Guy thing breaks out. What?
Boo.
Don't you tell me institutional racism doesn't exist. I'll tell you what's what in the butt.
All right then. Damn, song 8. Hurry up before it gets more awkward. Damn.
Tommy Young, come over here and jerk me off. That's a little bit of the Tony Schiavone. It's a little bit of the What Happened When Mondays with Tony Schiavone for you. Little barbarian humor. Tommy Young, you come over here and jerk me off. All right, here we go. I'm going to stop doing my impression of Conrad, doing an impression of the Barbarian, demanding he be jerked off by someone named Tommy Young.
Please do. Next up, song 8.
This is track 8. This is when the Metal Hammer of Doom collides with What Happened When Mondays with Tony Schiavone. This is worlds colliding.
Through the bone, right through the metal. I can feel it.
wasn't bad. I don't have an anecdote or a story or anything to go along with it. It was just a dandy song.
Yeah, I had to go to the lyrics on this one when I was initially doing the review on Facebook, and just to kind of try and figure out what exactly he meant by two worlds colliding. You could go with the literal sense of two actual worlds colliding, or except all of a sudden getting metaphysical here. Are we talking about interdimensional travel? No. It is about a man's suffering and a man's internal turmoil. And it doesn't give you, what's strange is that they'll write a song, say strange, it's kind of what I've noticed, how's that, is that they write a song and it's about like what's going on with how they're handling something, but they don't tell you what that something is. They just tell you about how they're handling it and how they're going through it, which is cool. I'm cool with that, and I think it's a decent song. But yeah, I don't really have much else to add other than that as well.
All right, this is track 9. This is Take the Load Off Fanny. No, this is Carry the Weight. Again, it's sort of nondescript, but not bad.
Yeah, I think we're kind of on a downward turn after Analog Man, in my opinion. I mean, when I say downward turn, it's not like the songs are horrible. It's more like, okay, they're there. They're definitely not as good as what's come before. So yeah. I think songs 7, 8, and 9 are they're decent enough, but what can you say? I guess. I mean, we're what's done is done. Like I said, they should have used that one for the final track, but we didn't.
The bullets have left the gun.
Next. Yeah, it did.
All right.
They put the track list out there, and the bullet gun left the gun. So now we have to figure something else out to put at the end of this.
All right. This is our last track of the night, and then we're gonna get out of here. This is Race to Extinction. Again, we end with, I think it's a little harsh to call it a dud, but I mean, another nondescript, kind of fine, keeps up the pace of the album. This isn't one of those deals where an album just sort of falls off and you're just like, what happened to all the heaviness? So the heaviness was there throughout the album, but I think the issue here became it was a little samey. One of the things I liked about like Kool-Aid and Analog Man and some of these other songs at the top of the album was they really had some interesting things to say. And then towards the end here, like right after What's Done Is Done, Worlds Colliding, Carry the Weight, Race to Extinction, it's just kind of meh. All right, we get it. You're a bunch of old men howling at the at the clouds.
Yeah, as you watch society fall apart around you, it's horrible. We understand. I'm right there with you, man. I understand where you're coming from.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give this album a B+. It wasn't incompetent in any way. There wasn't enough distinction in the second half of the album to carry it over to an A. But it's definitely a solid B+. It's a solid heavy metal album. I like it. Go ahead and give your fast review, and then we'll do some plugs, and we'll get out of here.
All right. Yeah. As for myself, I go along with what Mark said there. It kind of trails off after the halfway point, but aside from some negative marks that I give it for lyric content and tropiness, sameness, whatever, it is a solid entry into our Metal Hammer of Doom of the albums we've covered in 2017. I'm glad I gave them a chance to and had the opportunity to review them on here. That's one of the things that I love doing is experiencing bands and listening to full albums that I haven't had the chance to do so. So this is one of those. A thumbs up for me. Let's get into plugs, man.
All right. Next week, KMFDM is doing it again. A treat for the freaks, truth or dare. If you don't know, we don't care. KMFDM's got a new album out. It's called Hell Yeah. So that's what we'll be looking at next week. That's going to be right smack in the middle of the Defenders Week, in which case we'll be looking at a Daredevil book called Guardian Devil, written by Kevin Smith. The TV party tonight will be taking the place of Damn You Hollywood, and we'll be looking at The Defenders, which will have just dropped on Netflix. And then on trial Thursday, we'll be looking at the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. Last week on the Metal Hammer of Doom, we did Goat Whore, Vengeful Ascension. In 2 weeks, here on the Metal Hammer of Doom, we'll be looking at the new Haunted album, Strength in Numbers. All right, Jesse, go ahead with your plugs.
All right, only a couple things here. Go give that Rattlich in Broadcasting Network Facebook page to stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. We're on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, we're on all sorts of great stuff out there. Of course, our home here on Blog Talk Radio. And also, big thanks to and shout out to Sean Garmer and W2Mnet.com for bringing us some great wrestling content that's here on the network as well. Ladies and gentlemen, check out. Make sure to listen. It dropped this morning. We had the Cancer Q&A Part 2 update. That's right. It dropped this morning at 8 o'clock. Me and the Patriarch got together, discussed his battle with cancer. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you heard the good news, but you need to go listen to the podcast just to check it out and hear what the good news is. We aren't going to bury the lead like his doctor did, but you could check that out. We had a great time discussing that and what we look forward to here happening in the battle. Well, I don't know if we're going to say the battle's over, but there's some more stuff to address in Mark Rattlich's life. He's on the podcast. I'm talking like he ain't here. I don't know what's going on, but other than that, you can follow me at Stiznarkey on Twitter, and that's it. I'm ready to rock and roll on out here, Mark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us. We'll be back next week. I'll have just had a bone marrow transplant consult, so I'll probably be a little salty.
Get ready.
With that said, for Jesse Starcher, the disapproving dad and the horse of source material in his own right, be well, be safe, and behave. I am your mandated reporter, Mr. Mark Rattlich. Be well, be safe, and behave.
With free next-day delivery from Staples, you can run your business like a pro. You can guarantee the marketing department that they'll get their supplies tomorrow and guarantee the accounting department that they'll be delivered free. With free next-day delivery, you'll have the ability to move deadlines up and adjust budgets down. Go to staples.com and get the office essentials you need delivered next day for free. Staples. It's pro time. Orders over $49.99 placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Eligible items only.
Hi, you've reached the High Fashion Hotline.
Hi, Labor Day's the end of summer, but I'm not ready for my summer style to end.
It doesn't have to. At Old Navy, you can still get amazing dresses and tees.
Old Navy?
Yep, summer's ending, but saving on Old Navy style is just beginning at our pre-Labor Day sale. Right now, get 30% off all jeans, 40% off all dresses, and 50% off all tees for the whole family.
All jeans, dresses, and tees on sale?
Yep, at 30, 40, or 50% off at Old Navy.
I'm ready for that.
High Fashion, Old Navy. Valid 8/24 to 8/30 in stores only. Excludes active licensed men's package and clearance.